What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, as you can tell by the title of the video. We are going to be covering my 5 tips to help you get started on your fitness journey. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Alexandra Yeager. I'm an online fitness coach and content creator on several platforms. I am so excited you're here. I don't want to take up too much time chatting at the beginning, so without further ado, we're going to get right into today's video. Starting off with tip number 1, implementing small changes. Now, I know all too well that implementing everything all at once is quite literally a recipe for disaster. Trying to eat healthy all the time, work out, get every single workout in that you need to do your cardio, not letting yourself have any snacks or treats, restricting yourself as far as going to events and parties, counting your macros, making sure you don't go over not even 1 calorie, everything, all of that, right? So instead, implementing small changes into your everyday routine is a much more proven, effective way to stay at it in the long run. And after all, that is the goal. We want to find something that we can implement and work into the lifestyle that we already have so that we stick to it and we don't quit. Implementing small things like drinking a gallon of water a day, having a colorful array of food on your plate, ordering out less frequently, trying to stay away from really high calorie drinks. So instead of going to Dunkin' Donuts and getting the Frappuccino with caramel and whipped cream and extra caramel on the top, maybe stick to a lower calorie option like an iced coffee with almond milk and a sweetener or a sugar-free sweetener. Those small changes add up over time and are really going to help you succeed in your journey. Moving on to tip number 2, understanding your overall health. What I mean by overall health is the things that you really can't see in the mirror. So as women, we have it a little bit harder than the men. We have to deal with periods, fertility, hormones, imbalances, all of that good stuff that can really have an impact on our outside body, right? So our health and fitness, our weight loss, our muscle gain, all of that stuff can be impacted by our hormones. And unfortunately for most of us, we don't actually know that we have these hormonal issues unless we're getting them tested, which is why I have actually partnered with Modern Fertility for this video. Modern Fertility is an at-home fertility test, but not only does it test for fertility and give you a deeper understanding of where you're sitting at as far as your reproductive health, but it also gives you insight into your hormones. So inside the app, you're actually able to track your periods, and it gives you detailed information on what your hormones are like at that specific time in your menstrual cycle, which I think is so important and so helpful, especially when you're planning for children or not planning for them. They also have this really awesome feature on their website called the timeline tool. So you enter your age, how many children you want, and it gives you all of this really helpful information to kind of track out what the timeline should be for you, so you're better able to plan for having kids in the future if that's something that you want to do. Not only does it give you so much detailed information and allow for you to plan for things or not plan for things, you also get access to their fertility nurses, which I think is so amazing because you can get your questions answered. And if you have any questions about the results that you get from your fertility and hormone test, you can log onto the website, go into your app, and connect one-on-one with a fertility nurse who can help you better understand what exactly you're looking at. A little bit of a backstory. When I first started my health and fitness journey, I was unaware that I had PCOS, and PCOS is actually an endocrine disorder, so your hormones. So I was unaware that I had this, and I wasn't really losing weight. I had irregular periods. I at one point didn't get my period at all, and fast forward a few years later, I end up in the hospital in absolutely excruciating pain. I always tell Tyler that I would not wish that pain on my worst enemy. So I end up in the hospital, and they give me all of this blood work and all of these tests, and come to find out I actually had a cyst on my ovary. Some women with PCOS don't experience a cyst at all in their lifetime, especially ones where you end up in the hospital. Being unaware of that in the long run really impacted my fitness journey, which is why using something like Modern Fertility is an amazing tool to help you better understand your overall health. Those things that you can't really see in the mirror, but are happening inside, like your hormones that you might not know about if you didn't test for them. Not only are you able to plan for the future, but you're also able to implement changes and lifestyle habits so that you can reach your health and fitness goals faster. Now, if you wanted to just go to the doctor and get your hormones checked, I recently just found this out. Insurance doesn't actually cover that, and these tests can be upwards of $1,500. I don't have an extra $1,500 just sitting around to get my hormones tested for a possible hormonal imbalance. I don't know about you, but that's a big no from me. The great thing with Modern Fertility is it's actually only $159, and lucky for you guys, I actually have a $20 off coupon for your first test. You can use the link that's going to be right down in the description box below. Not only is it shipped to your door, you do the blood work at home and you ship it back out. They actually give you everything that you need, including a return label, and you get your results in 7 to 10 days, which will lead us into tip number 3, which is nutrition. Dun, dun, dun. I like to tell people to try and aim for an 80-20 diet. And what I mean by that is 80% of the time you want to try to stick to whole, nutrient-dense foods. And the other 20% of the time, you can enjoy going out to dinner. You can enjoy those snacks, that Snickers, those chips. You can go to family events. You can have cake, those type of things. So 80% whole, nutrient-dense foods, 20% snacks, and your lenient foods, I guess you could call it. Trying to restrict yourself so much to the point where you're not even allowing yourself to have a bite of a food, which is exactly what I did, I can tell you right now, really creates a horrible relationship with not only health and fitness, but also your relationship with food. And when you damage that relationship with food, it's really, really hard to repair. So instead of just diving in and not allowing yourself to have any snacks at all and cutting out carbs or whatever the new fad diet is, really try and stick to an 80-20 nutrition. Not only is it helpful, it's quite simple. It's not a diet. Diets don't work. I don't like the word diet because diets aren't long-term. And when you're trying to do the long run and look at the big picture, you don't want a diet, because then after the diet is over, you're like, okay, well, what diet do I do now? And that's just not really a healthy or sustainable way to go about it. Tip number 4 would be find something that you love to do. When you're just starting out, I want you to seriously try everything. Try doing HIIT workouts, try weight training. How about CrossFit? Try yoga, Pilates, anything that you can think of, try it. Because if you don't try it and you're only sticking to one thing and you end up not really loving it and it's like not your favorite thing to do, you're not gonna stick to it. And I want you to stick to your goals and stick to the things that you're implementing so that you can create a lifestyle around this, not just a quick fix. When you're able to try a bunch of different styles of training and fitness, you're able to find something that you really love to do, and eventually that will turn into something that you look forward to doing. So for example, waking up every morning and going to like a hot yoga or a Pilates class might be your ideal routine rather than lifting weights, and that is totally okay, as long as you find something that you really genuinely just like to do. Not only is it going to be good for your mental health, you're also going to stick to it, and it's also going to be something that you're able to implement daily so that you don't fall off track. And the last tip that I have for you guys, the 5th and final tip, is going to be start from a place of love. I think this is probably the most important one, saving the best for last. If you are always trying to attain a certain image, you want to lose 15 pounds, you want to look like that girl in the magazine, you want to be as shredded as whoever, you're always going to be reaching to attain that goal. And while it's good to have goals, what happens if you get there? You're just going to be looking for something else to attain, and then something else and something else, and you're never going to be happy. I want you to be happy. And as someone who deals with mental health and body image, it can be really, really hard to come back from a place after tearing yourself down so much. So when you start and the base of your entire health and fitness journey is revolved around being healthier and moving and just doing better for your body and your mental health because of all of the amazing benefits that it can have. And really just loving yourself as you are is going to really, really, really make the biggest difference in your journey, I promise you. That is going to wrap up the 5 tips I have for you when starting your fitness journey. I hope that you guys loved this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe. And thank you, as always, for showing your support on this video. I love you very much, and I will talk to you guys later.